enemies and motherfucking fight each other. Fight the fucking center line and motherfucking talk about it. Shout and vote, crossing up. Get caught up in the fight.
Welcome to the bracket. I'm not going to keep this up the whole time. Hey guys, this is Alex Hart. I'm your Sorcerer Supreme. Welcome to the bracket. In this special episode, we're going to do a tournament of 16 giant characters.
Giants.
Speaking of giants, men, legends, I got 3 other guys with me. We have to my right, Alexander Karsten.
What's
Say
up,
hey,
everybody?
buddy.
Hey, y'all.
Then we got to my left, Murph.
Murph, what up, guys? Quick question: is Barry Bonds going to be anywhere near this bracket? Or...
I don't understand sports.
Okay, right.
And then across the room, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Sam Nagel. Say hi, buddy.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be here.
Let me tell you guys something real quick. This is the funniest guy I've ever met. And if it literally, folks at home, if you don't double over laughing from pretty much everything Sam says,
Your expectations cannot be set too high.
Call me, my name is Mud, because this guy is going to kill it today. Sam, go ahead.
You're absolutely killing me. This is the worst. You're a fucking asshole.
That is correct. All right.
So yeah, welcome to the bracket. If this is your first time going into the bracket, go back to episode 0. In episode 0, you can hear all of the rules, sort of why we do what we do, and the way that these decisions are made. That said, if you want to contact us, you can do so at the F and Bracket on Twitter, facebook.com/thebracketofficial, the Bracket Official on Instagram, thebracketrules@gmail.com, thebracketsucks@gmail.com, and then on thebracket.org, you can see all the rules there as well, and you can donate to us via PayPal or Patreon. We really appreciate all that too, and you might notice that we got the new mics. I don't know if you go back a couple episodes, you're gonna listen to some just dog shit audio quality.
That's correct. And if you guys can bear with us, we got an ad for you today. Now they just sent us a clip. I don't think any of us have listened to it, so
I have not.
We're just gonna play that for you, and we'll get back to you in just a second. Brought to you by Gut Wrench. Boys, summer's just around the corner and you'll be spending your afternoons by the pool. But no matter how cool and refreshing the water is, it's impossible to avoid those unwanted erections. Until now! Gut Wrench stops those little boners dead so you can come out of the water without having to peel your bathing suit off your hog first. For just $29.99 a month, we'll send you a video each night of the most foul abominations the internet has to offer.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Lemon party.
Blue waffle!
Tub girl.
And countless Japanese ones that sound aggressive but you're not sure. You'll do well to sleep at night, let alone achieve even a partial erection at the public pool. Enjoy a confident swim in between glimpses of memories that no one should have. Certainly not someone your age. God forgive me.
I use Gut Wrench for all my pool parties. I haven't even had a partial erection all summer.
I cry when I'm left alone, yet I shudder at the thought of physical contact with another person. Thanks, Gut Wrench.
My mom says she misses the old me. I'm so tired.
Take back your summer with Gut Wrench. Today, all summer, Gut Wrench.
So that was Gut Wrench, guys. I was really...
We gotta start screening some of these sponsors.
No, I loved it. I loved it. I know that's been a consistent problem I have, probably on a day-to-day basis.
I've gotten past it now, but where was Gut Wrench when I was 12 or 13? You know what I'm saying?
I definitely need these in my life today.
Well, thank you, Gut Wrench. We appreciate you supporting the podcast, and we appreciate all you home supporting the podcast. And let's get to it. You guys ready to actually hop into the giant bracket?
Get it.
The giant bracket. No, okay, one quick thing about the giant bracket. We are going to have them fight. Did we all agree that we are going to have them go in an abandoned Tokyo?
I like that very much.
Still got the
I
big
love
towers. You got everything they can bump into and crash. It's going to be like Power Rangers or something. But we don't have all the people, the civilians running around. So any of the good guy characters won't have to worry about like protecting them and stuff.
Seems mad appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then let's get into it. So the first fight is the Dragon Zord, speaking of Power Rangers,
Hey.
fighting against Godzilla.
Oh.
Dun, dun.
Now, which Godzilla are we using?
I wanted to go with the most recent one. So I did
Fair.
a little bit of research on said Godzilla, and he might be the biggest guy on this whole list. So he is 389 feet tall. This is the 2016 one, the Shin Godzilla version.
With Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, I love Bryan Cranston,
And
man.
some other people
Yeah.
are in that, I think.
Okay, so we got Godzilla fighting against.
somebody
the
tell me about
Dragon
Dragon Zord. I don't know shit.
That's kind of what I was getting at. I know he gets summoned with a flute. Is the flute somehow important to
there's
this
a flute
fight?
for
I
real?
feel like it should be.
So the Dragon Zord, as compared to Godzilla being like almost 400 feet tall, the Dragon Zord is 125 feet tall and weighs 170 tons, which is ginormous.
Textbook definition. The thing I always liked about the Dragon Zord was the fact that like he could fight Megazord like by himself. Like they had a couple fights where he would fight him one-on-one. So I was just thought that was really interesting that it takes 5 of those other Power Ranger Zords to compete with this one that this guy has.
Yeah, he's the Superman of their Justice League. He doesn't need any of the other guys. And actually, he started off as a villain. I don't know if you guys recall, but Rita Repulsa initially made the Green Ranger as a bad guy, a villain that they would fight against. And then I think he like broke out of the spell, but managed to keep all of the benefits of having his own Dragon Zord.
So there's just one guy piloting this big robot.
Tommy.
Not 5.
Right? It's Tommy.
Yeah,
not
Not
Jason.
one in
Tommy.
the arm and one in the leg and one in the other arm. None of that nonsense for him.
No, and for some reason he could merge it with the Megazord like also later. It was that was a weird thing to me because it's like they weren't designed at the same time.
I might be remembering this completely wrong. Is he the one that rides like a cat? Or is that nothing?
he
Did I
is-
just dream that?
Is that not the White Ranger?
Which is
Well,
also
which is the
also
same guy.
Tommy. Like
So he started off as a bad guy and then came onto the team as an impromptu sort of leader. He kind of had this like back and forth rivalry with Jason. Oh my gosh, I haven't like thought through this part of my brain
Right?
in decades. Anyways, so he became a good guy. He was on the team, and then they moved from having prehistoric animals to having, I guess, slightly more modern. Like they went from a woolly mammoth and a dragon,
to a frog.
to a frog, and instead of a pterodactyl, it was just a bird. But the Green Ranger became the White Ranger, and the White Ranger had one that could transform between like an eagle and a big old like saber-toothed tiger.
I think he might have had. I think it was actually 2 separate ones.
I'm pretty sure it's just one, or at the very least, I had an action figure that could change between the two.
The eagle had like blasters on the wings. It was ridiculous.
His was by far the coolest. It was like the first introduction of ones being able to do multis.
What did it look like a dragon at all?
Oh,
Any
when he became
dragon
the White
themed?
Ranger?
I don't know.
Or the Green Ranger?
Dragon sword.
The Dragon Zord does look like a dragon.
Okay.
He's got which this isn't very dragon-like to me, but he can shoot missiles out of his fingers, and he's got a big old tail that has like a drill on the back of it, and I remember that like clashing into the bad guy and shooting off sparks and stuff. Now, I was looking it up trying to like research this character, and I recall seeing like a laser shoot out of his chest, and if you see a picture of the guy, it looks like he has this big circular like star pattern.
Here's my Sunday
thing.
best.
And I recalled there being a laser that shot out of that, but I couldn't find anything that would support that. Does anybody else remember that happening?
I sure as
Unfortunately,
fuck
I don't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, so when I think of Godzilla versus anything, the first thing I think is he's going to go for that plasma fire, and I don't know who can stand up to that, but I don't think it's a metal robot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I was sort of leaning Godzilla. I wanted to go into Dragon Zord for a second because that's another character you don't really get to talk about very often.
Does he have a sword, or is he or like dragons don't have swords?
He's got a drill tip
Drill tail.
tail.
Yeah,
that's kind of
right.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, but no sword. Sad day for him, I think.
I think his chest does have a laser, and at that point, it would give him long range advantage over Godzilla.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Godzilla, he's got a projectile. I mean, it's probably not as far as a laser, but
Godzilla does?
the fire breath.
Oh yeah.
It'll go like. I mean,
You're worried
because
about
he's
this
huge,
fire
it goes
breath.
far.
I mean, we've seen the Power Rangers get hit by lasers, and it knocks them over, and they get back up. I would argue that the fire breath is not as hot as a laser.
Oh, I disagree. I think the fire breath is much hotter than a laser. I think
This
their
is
lasers.
plasma fire.
I think that their lasers are the type that hit a villain and knock him over. I think they're arguably even concussive.
Shitty
but plasma
lasers.
fire.
We covered shitty lasers.
Yeah,
and
have
these
we
are
gone
them.
over those? Now, if this were like lightsaber type lasers,
Yeah.
then we could go down a whole different. But I'm going Godzilla pretty firmly.
Yeah,
honestly.
me too. And also the size difference alone, you know.
Okay, apparently plasma is 2 trillion watts or something. I mean,
That's really loud.
good God. Yeah, that's really loud. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you might be right on that one. I'll give you that. I'll let it happen, okay? I'm going to let that slide.
Thank you, sir.
You stay in your lane.
So we're measuring plasma in watt, or we're measuring fire in watts now.
I don't know. I
guess?
Googled
Okay.
it really fast.
All right.
I haven't read anything.
Not
Don't trust my
temperature, but
opinion.
Watts. Okay. Yeah.
A big dragon summoned by a flute. Is that? I just want to make sure.
Yes,
That is
we're on the
correct.
same page.
I think it was also a sword flute. I want to say it was a sword flute.
Did they have like a sword flute? Did they have like a baby deer summoned by a kazoo? That'd be pretty badass.
That'd be awesome, but I don't think they had that one yet.
Oh,
Maybe
let's
in the
get-
newer
let's
versions.
get
I'm
on
not
it.
gonna lie. There's been like 20 different Power Rangers since then. So
That's true.
Okay, but
Something
fighting
for
each other,
everybody.
so the plasma is going to be the big issue, is what we're saying. I think if you can actually get blow to blow with him, admittedly he's a fourth of his size, but he has better weapons, and he is relative. I don't know. It's hard to say. He always moves in that clunky sort of way that old Japanese cartoons do, where goosh, goosh,
Talking about
one step at a
Godzilla
time.
or Dra-
Not even
Dragon
the
Zord?
Dragon Zord.
Dragon
The
Zord.
Dragon Zord moves like the old Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
And the current Godzilla does not move that way anymore. He moves slow, but he just crushes everything in his
Yeah.
path in sweeping motions.
I think their mobility is both roughly the same, and given the fact that Godzilla is much larger than Dragon Zord, I think Godzilla's
Yeah.
gonna
Is this
take
going to
it.
be the whole podcast? This whole episode is just going to be like, dude, that dude's bigger, so of course he's got it. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Sam.
factor. You're talking about who's got better technology. Like, if you give me like 3 fidget spinners and I fight a gorilla, I'm still gonna lose. Like I've got better tools, but he's big. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why I said they have similar mobility.
okay, cool.
Because I don't think Dragon Zord could just outmaneuver Godzilla
Someone-
in any way, shape, or form. And
He actually
has
is really
to-
good in the water. I was reading that.
Dragon Zord?
Yeah, Dragon Zord.
Well,
He, apparently,
so is
he's
Godzilla.
was underwater for hundreds of years, and they never really articulated exactly how long that was. But he is not really designed to fight on in the land. He's much better in the water.
This robot is starting to sound a whole lot like Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah,
You know what
no,
I'm
that's an
saying?
interesting point. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is basically Mecha Godzilla, except 1/4 of the size that
Yeah.
he needs to be.
Because I think Mechagodzilla actually won, if I remember correctly, in the original movie.
I don't know.
Like,
That was probably in
think
the
he
50s
won.
or some shit.
Yeah, I know.
Man, fuck the 50s.
But still, I'm going Godzilla.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is anybody
I'm with
going
you on
Dragon
that.
Zord?
Godzilla takes it.
I was originally, but y'all swayed me. So
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next fight is Ant-Man, Hank Pym, fighting against the Iron Giant. So, what are the sizes on those guys? Anybody know off the top of their head? Here we go.
Ant-Man can get up to 100 feet, I believe.
Yeah, Ant-Man gets to 100 feet, and then the Iron Giant gets to 60 feet.
Well,
So-
he's Giant Man's bigger. So there you go.
There we go. All right, next round. No.
Now, are we allowing him to go small as well? Because Ant-Man, of course, primarily goes small, but he can, later in the comics, he can go huge as well. If you saw the last Captain America movie.
I think we just keep him to large. I think that we kind of like force his hand in this one.
Okay.
And honestly, what's it really going to do against? Oh, I guess with the Iron Giant, you could probably like take him apart from the
Get
inside.
in there, yeah.
Well, okay. So first off, how does he do that? So the Ant-Man is Hank Pym. Hank Pym is considered the scientist supreme for the Marvel universe. You've got like me, the Sorcerer Supreme. We're Doctor Strange. Yeah, we hang out.
Basically written after you.
Yeah, exactly.
what we're
Well,
getting at.
he is the scientist, the highest level scientist in the Marvel universe, or at least I think it was not the Beyonder, one of those celestial type characters came out and said to him, hey, you're the greatest scientist on Earth. And it's not necessarily that he's the smartest, but his exact verbiage was something to the extent of everybody else sees science as a tool. You see it as a way of doing the impossible.
I like how the smartest guy in the Marvel universe still just gets huge and punches people. You know what I mean?
So he knows judo, and he can lift up to 50 tons at his highest form. He can get bigger than 100 feet, but he can't do it for long, and it causes a lot of strain on him. And the way that he's able to do that is using Pym particles. Pym particles is something he discovered that gives him the ability to grow and shrink, and he got like so inundated with Pym particles because he used them in science, and then he would eat a lot of them, apparently. That's what I
Eat
saw.
the particles?
Yeah, eat the ingestion is a big reason why he can do it without having to he used to have take a pill or something, I believe, but now he's just I'm getting bigger because I really need to poop because I ate so many of these Pym particles and they're just in his bloodstream or something now.
Okay, so he's just punch kicks and stuff like that and judo flips, I guess. He doesn't have any projectiles, lasers, nothing like that.
No, he does not.
Iron Giant has a bunch of rockets and lasers. He's like an alien robot, right?
he is a warfighting machine.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember the end of the movie any time in the movie where somebody points a gun at him, he goes all red and rockets shoot out or open up from his wrists and all this shit. And
Do you remember his chest opened up with this
Yeah,
big
yeah.
cannon that started to light up like a giant laser?
He
does?
also had these extensions that would come out from the back of him. He had 3 of them. They were, I think, one was just rapid fire, one was lasers. And it was weird how they interacted with each other. So one would combine with the other one and then spread the laser out into a rapid fire as opposed to just a straight beam.
Jesus.
I think let's put our cards on the table here. So Iron Giant, we know he gets blown up and then he kind of reforms back together. But in traditional bracket rules, I think that'll take longer than 5 minutes for sure,
Yes.
depending on how far those parts go away from each other. So while he can reform, I think if he gets to that state, he's done. But I don't think Hank Pym can beat up this. So if I tried to fight a robot half my size, I don't think I could punch it apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard for me to kind of like equate his durability, the Iron Giant, because he has that big dent on his head, and it's why he's nice. Because they had a post-credits scene wherein you find out that there's like hundreds of these Iron Giants that are going across the universe, landing on different planets, and they're supposed to be like taking over planets. Well, he had fallen from the sky, landed on Earth, hit his head, and that's why he's a nice guy. So that's one level of damage. You could, if you fall from the sky and hit your head, that would injure him. But the other side of it is he took a nuke. He took a nuke to the face, and then he blew apart and got back together. And I actually looked it up because I remember I was like, he took a nuke to his face, and then when he was rebuilding, the little cogs and stuff are somewhere like covered in ice. And I checked it out. He was in Maine, and he exploded, and parts of his head went to Iceland, which is 2,317 miles away. And he's like, all right, I'll just come back together later. He can eat a nuke to the face. He's incredibly durable. He might be the most durable person on this team, or the whole bracket, rather.
The thing I don't get, though, is if he is the most durable thing that's on this, he can come back together, put himself back together. Why does he have a dent on his head? Why couldn't he fix
I don't know,
that?
Murph. Damn.
I don't know.
It's a good movie. Leave it alone.
It is a good movie.
It was a good movie.
There was a part in the movie where he accidentally destroyed railroad tracks with Hogarth.
Hogarth.
So
Terrible name, right?
Terrible. I don't know what year this was, but a train's not
50s,
going
I
that
think.
fast back then. That train knocked him clean on his back.
Yeah.
And took him a minute to recover just from that. But then again, he did take a nuke. He did survive.
There was another scene wherein he had bit electrical wires that were hanging out.
Yeah, that was when he first.
It incapacitated him. He couldn't move, and he was stuck there until they turned it off in some way.
Hank Pym isn't a full-speed train, and he's not a nuke. And Iron Giant's got lasers and shit. I think he takes it. I think it's
Iron Giant can also fly.
Yes, he can. He's got little jet boosters out of his feet, I think. Yeah. Okay, so my gut response is Hank Pym's bigger at 100 feet, and that's all that matters in this. But also, I think he's smart enough, and he's better trained at fighting. They're going to go blow for blow, and I don't think that lasers are going to come out of Iron Giant because we typically only see that when somebody has a gun. It really takes...
Well, I think it's when there's a perceived threat. I think if he's getting punched in the face, then he's going to perceive that as a threat.
Do you remember that FBI agent that showed up and he was yelling at him and causing all sorts of stuff and just being a real D-bag and obviously being aggressive? Well, he still didn't flip out until the guy drew a gun on him and then he flipped the fuck out.
Well, he's not a threat if he's this tiny little ant thing, If he's like an inch tall compared to him.
But if he's like an Ant-Man.
Yeah, I was trying. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck.
Okay, so we've seen him take damage. We've seen him get hit by a train and stuff. I don't know. I think that there's a good chance that Hank Pym is smart enough and strong enough to where he could take him apart.
To punch him good.
Yeah, that's a good point. is to punch him good.
I think he gets a laser in the eyes. Hank Pym does. I think he gets blown up.
Does his suit have any kind of defense against those?
It's stretchy.
attacks?
Yeah, not
It's stretchy
really.
the way that Reed Richards' suit is, but it just allows him to grow and shrink and fit.
Also, you're I don't know. I always try and vote against wife beaters and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's
that
a wife
kind of thing.
beater, mad wife beater.
Yeah.
So I was looking that up as well. Do you know why he's a wife beater? The artist misunderstood what he was supposed to draw. So we drew the comic, they printed it out, and it went on release. And they're like, "Hey, you had him beating his wife," and they're like,
What the fuck is the
and then they
misunderstanding
backpedaled.
there?
Yeah,
What was the autocorrect in that text?
exactly.
He's supposed to be beating his wife in a game of chess.
Beating her in the chest.
You said beat her in the chest. Huh. Thought this was a weird angle for this comic to go, but I
Yeah,
guess.
sharp turn there.
Yeah.
Well, they ran with it, and they just decided that was going to be indicative of his character, and it's been something that I think the modern fan holds against him a lot, as we do. We obviously are talking about it now.
I feel like he probably beats his wife, gets done, and he goes, "Oh, also I named particles after me, bitch." I'm a douche.
I haven't seen or read any of the comics where Ant-Man is giant, but I have seen the latest
Captain America.
Civil War, and the way that he moved was incredibly slow.
Yeah.
okay.
He lumbers.
I have
which
such
is
a problem
weird.
with this. I do
don't
not
get it.
understand why when you get big enough you start moving slowly. I had a whole way back when me and Pierce got into a giant argument about why
get
that
it.
functions that way.
Sweet pun.
What? Oh, a giant argument. I didn't even mean to. A little drive by.
Fucking meant to, you piece of shit.
Well, so his argument was that it's wind resistance. That like when he brings his foot down and it seems to take
come on
forever.
now.
I mean, then he's proportionally still the same guy. Like me right now, it should take me 1 second to bring my foot from point A to point B and hit the ground. But if I'm higher, it's still the same ratio of distance for me. I don't see why that happens. And if that is the case, then yeah, we're definitely going Iron Giant. I don't think it should be the case.
I don't know why that's a trope, but I don't know. It is the latest version. He goes super slow. Either way, even if he moved fast, I think it's still Iron Giant.
Okay, Iron Giant.
I think so.
I'm fine with Iron Giant. I think that's a good answer.
I would say if Ant-Man had the ability to go tiny and use all of his powers, then I think Ant-Man would take it. But
One other thing about Iron Giant that I thought was noteworthy is that he falls from space, he's supposed to take over the planet, he hits his head, and now he's a good guy. That's Goku. Goku did the exact same thing. The whole reason why Goku is a hero is because he was supposed to take over the damn planet, but he bonked his head.
Too real.
I thought he got sent out because his planet was being destroyed by Frieza.
I think originally that's a good point. They may have like done that twice because I mean when Raditz shows up, Raditz was like, "You were supposed to be preparing the planet."
I remember that.
Yeah, Raditz is dick. Also,
Wait, I thought
Goku and Superman basically have the same backstory at this point, right? If you go that direction, they both got sent to Earth.
But
because their planet was
Goku
being destroyed, kind of deal.
Yeah, Goku bonked his head, whereas Superman's just mentally inept. Yeah, just sort of dumb. Just sort of a dumb guy. Just super dumb.
Who we got? What up?
Okay, next fight we have King Kong versus Choji. Is that how you say it?
Choji.
Yes.
Choji. I did it. I've seen it written down. I haven't actually heard it out loud. Choji. So King Kong. We all know King Kong. That's a big ass ape.
How big King Kong?
How big that King Kong be?
80?
King Kong is 100 feet tall by
okay.
the most recent version, which is actually the biggest one yet. He is a mega primatus. Kong is his full like species
The most
name.
recent one is called Skull Island. Is that
Yes,
right? It has
Skull Island.
John C. Reilly. I never saw it. Anybody see that?
Samuel Jackson also.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is like a 50-50 chance he's in whatever movie we're talking about.
Yeah, so he's a giant ape. He's a giant ape. People worship him. He likes ladies. He holds them. He kisses on them. He loves them. He climbs up buildings and he crushes stuff. That's all you need to know about King Kong. He's freaking huge. Okay, so Choji. Tell me about Choji. Hit me, Sam.
okay, so Choji Akamichi is from Naruto. He's from the Akamichi clan. He's known for eating and he's known for just his kindness. Those are his strengths.
Me too.
So, he is he's got the expansion jutsu, which just enables him to grow.
Dick joke here.
Where is it?
Let's have it. Yeah.
That's you're the funny guy, remember? Kill it.
Okay.
Anyway, his dick can grow also.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So he uses the expansion jutsu to grow. I guess his calories or just his fat turns into chakra. His chakra uses fat as just a means of energy.
Does he get skinnier throughout the fight because of that?
No.
Okay.
He stays the same.
I bet that's just what he says. When people ask him why he's so fat, it's like, no, I don't need it.
It's a strategy.
I couldn't
chakra.
I couldn't find how tall he is. My guess is that he's roughly 70 feet at his most.
He's a big
Okay.
dude. Also, it kind of seems like as he gets bigger, he gets leaner also. Like he's fatter when he's smaller. As he gets bigger, it seems like he gets a little bit leaner.
A lot of times when there's a big variable on how big they can get, it's like the bigger they get, there's some kind of strain. Is that the case with him? Like, is it harder to stay that big when he's 70 feet or, anything like that?
No, but his size is based on his chakra. And in Naruto chakra, you have a limit. If you exceed your limit, then you die, basically.
So is there like a time limit for him to stay that big or anything like that?
Essentially, he's very durable. His endurance, I don't think he can. How long do you think he could stay in a fight?
Choji, like man.
In that form.
In that form, I still argue he could last in a fight like probably 15, 20 minutes, man. He seems to just he has a lot more chakra than a lot of the people give him credit for. They tend to think he's one of the weaker ones, and it turns out he's actually probably one of the tougher characters within their like age group, I guess. Hits super hard. Actually grows butterfly wings when he gets bigger too. Kind of a cool little thing.
How did you feel about that?
I thought it was kind of cool.
It sounds super masculine.
It was cool in the sense that his dad also is in the same clan, and when his dad gets bigger, that doesn't happen for him. So I argue that it just shows that he's like on a different level than the other people of his clan.
Yeah, his dad's like, well,
So,
all right.
yeah.
I guess I still love him.
Choji, in his name, I believe it translates to butterfly. is in his name, and I think second, which I don't really know what he's
The second
to.
butterfly. Well, I guess because
Could
he's
be.
a son.
But yeah, so his
Yes.
oh man. So again, he's just been known as this fat guy throughout the whole series. He eventually has his moments, and this was like his big moment. This is when Madara was taking over, and like the ninja world was coming to an end, and he gets big. He gets butterfly wings. And
Badass.
I just
Our hero.
and granted he was very strong, but I couldn't get over that fact. I was really disappointed.
When you
That's not
say it
very
like
cool.
that, it does sound worse.
Are these like cutesy butterfly wings? Are they made of energy or
yeah,
something?
they're made of energy.
They're made of they're
made
chakra.
of barbed wire and steak.
So yeah, his butterfly wings are made of chakra. He's strong. So we didn't really talk about his moves basically, but he's known as the human wrecking ball. He turns into a rolling ball and just pummels over
Like
everybody in his
Pan?
path.
Like that fat kid in Pan?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Just a somersault, and that's the attack. Is I turn into a somersault into you, and I bounce off your chest or
He
something.
does it very fast. His hair can turn into. I think he does like a spiky ball thing?
It becomes like a spike ball type
Yeah.
deal. Like it's one of those like he crashes into stuff and it leaves like craters and stuff, that
He-
sort of thing.
He almost has the Battletoad effect too. When he punches, his fist gets huge.
Oh, cool.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks cool.
Well, gorillas are gorillas. Can he? I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't know. Can he take a gorilla that's 30 feet taller?
I'm probably leaning towards him.
I'm firmly leaning Choji.
Choji's
enough.
got more tools.
That counts for me.
I mean, King Kong's 30 feet taller than him, but that's proportionally that's a 6-foot guy fighting an 8-foot guy or something. And I think that the 6-foot guy with training is probably going to take it. But it's a fucking gorilla. I'm sorry. Let's go back on that. In a weightlifting competition, like, okay, I'm not even 6 feet tall, but if you took
Not even close.
not even close. No. I'm 5'8" if I'm lying to you. Like, so I guess maybe I need to step back on this because my gut was saying Choji, but if you took me and you took a comparably sized gorilla, much less a bigger gorilla, that thing is way stronger than I am. Way stronger than
Then
I
you,
am.
sure, yeah.
Okay, Carson, you could take a gorilla of your equal size.
Oh no, one much smaller, much smaller, but I could take it.
I just think that also when he's bigger, his strength is stronger in a sense than you would think it would be. At least everything that I've seen makes it appear that way, especially like with his fist getting bigger. I think he has a lot more tools, and I think he's a way better fighter. I just think he's a much better fighter.
I think the oldest gorilla I could take would probably be a tween. I don't know what their age range is, but like I don't know, the equivalent of a 12-year-old,
Like an
gorilla.
angsty
Yeah.
I
gorilla.
thought you meant just a gorilla on the verge of death, just of his
or
old
like a
age.
very
just
sick
a very
one.
frail gorilla.
Hey, you can be sick and huge, so I'll take a pretty big one.
Let's say most gorillas are 5 feet tall. Just a guess. Most gorillas being 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
With
the
bigger
hunch.
than that.
Okay,
Well,
and
I
then
mean,
you look
I
at
think
John.
you stretched them out, but they hunch pretty good.
Sure, and then you look at like John Jones, who's arguably one of the baddest men on the planet. Let's go Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight UFC champion at the time. Okay, currently
From Cleveland.
From Cleveland, representing.
Hey.
I don't care anything about any location or like cities. Never understood that. Anyways, moving
Fuck
on.
locations.
Places are dumb. Your joke was better. So you take the heavyweight champ in the world. He's the guy who's most trained at how to kick and punch and fight and stuff like that. That guy's getting mauled by a gorilla that's still smaller than him. I think that if you say Choji, my only question is like if Choji had to weightlift, if he had to like pick up a weight that is 200 pounds or 300 pounds and stuff like that, is it disproportionate strength to his size, or is it like Ant-Man when he gets bigger, he's as strong as he was relative to his size? You know, like when he's 6 feet, he's as strong as a normal fit 6 feet guy, but now he's 100 feet and he's as strong as a normal fit 100 feet guy. Is he magically stronger than he should be? Because gorillas are very
But
strong.
that's I don't know how to explain Choji in just his regular ninja form. Can you compare a ninja to John Jones?
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's absolutely fair. And you're right. The training for sure goes to Choji. I just don't know that. I think you can be really, really trained, and when a gorilla grabs your face and starts going to town, you're
John
in
Jones
trouble.
swings a punch at Choji. I don't even know if Choji blocks it. And if he does, he blocks it without really paying attention. and
Durability. Okay.
It's one of those, you asked a question about like lifting 200-300 pounds. Like he probably lifts that with not a whole, like he makes his hand bigger and lifts that without a whole lot of effort.
Well, then when you say he's making his hand bigger, now he's starting to tap into being
Multiform.
larger. But I'm saying like
The,
I don't know.
the multi-size
King
thing.
Kong punches a building, the building's in trouble. Choji punches a building. Is it really?
Building's also in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Maybe I'm making a silly argument, but
No. I'm trying to compare just Choji in the Naruto world versus a strong human in the human world.
yeah, that's
So-
fair. That's fair. Because he's not normal. He is exceptional.
Yeah, I think if Choji was to punch a tree versus John Jones punching a tree, I think Choji's going to do a lot more damage.
Okay, then that's a good point because I think that Choji probably is delivering similar strength to what a gorilla would do if it punched a tree.
Too true. Too real. I think it's worth mentioning that there are 4 of us here and only 2 of us are wearing pants.
Oh yeah, we wanted to make sure Sam was comfortable. He's new to the mic, so we decided that we were not going to wear pants.
It's a little hot.
Also, like,
I'm one of those.
Guess which
not
two?
wearing pants.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's
Okay, we
me.
got one. There you go. I'm the other one.
All right, let's get back on track.
Yes, let's get back on track.
I'm
okay.
going Choji, right?
Choji.
Choji.
Hey.
So next fight we have is Cthulhu fighting against the Cyber Demon, which I will tell you, this is probably going to be the AC show right now.
Both of these are mine for sure.
All right, enlighten us.
I could probably talk about Cthulhu for the rest of this show. We did 20 minutes on it last fight, so I'll try to cut it down. I have a big old Cthulhu tattoo on my chest. So this is my jam. All right. So this guy is H.P. Lovecraft, written in like 1928 or 29 or around then. But he's referenced in at least like half of H.P. Lovecraft stories. If you're into Game of Thrones, he's what do they call that? The dead god?
The Drowned God?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he's a
think that
direct
is it.
ripoff.
Yeah, Drowned God.
I say ripoff. It's an homage. He shows up as an homage in a lot of things. DC in their show has a god called Icthultu. So, like I said, it's
Who looks like identical
yeah.
too. He's
They
not,
have a tip of the cap all the time. So
they
if you
didn't try
don't
and
know
hide
about
that
this
at
guy,
all.
First of all, read the story if you're into it. If you don't know, because I love it. But he's a fish god. He's ageless, timeless. He lives or is dead under the ocean, whatever you want to call it. But he's got like tentacle mouth, like Davy Jones. in Pirates. He's got that tentacle mouth.
Yeah, he's giant Davy Jones. Yeah,
he's
that's
got
good.
wings. He's got wings. He describes him size wise. He says a mountain walked or stumbled. So he's mountain sized, and I googled
Dang.
it. Mountains are at minimum 1,000 feet. So that's what I'm calling. I think he's the biggest guy in this thing.
Good golly.
The story, it's not about him like ravaging Japan or whatever and kicking over buildings. It's more about him sending out evil vibes and being the most evil thing that's ever existed anywhere, basically, and running a cult or stuff like that. So you don't see him do a lot of physical stuff in the stories, but there's enough to go on, I think.
Okay, so yeah, that's a lot. He's big, he's dangerous. He has that aura
Fish
of evil.
monster.
He scares people. I think we talked about
that's
that.
another thing. When he shows up, and this happens in a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stories, but people will see something, Cthulhu included, and just die of fright right on the spot. Just be scared to death right there. So if you're not like super strong-willed, you might just die without him touching you.
I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I'd be fine.
Murph would be fine, that's for sure.
So long as
guys,
there's
though.
3 of him.
Yeah. So Cyber Demon, that's from Doom, the game Doom. I played the new one, and that's I played the new one, and that's it was good. But I'm gonna go with classic Cyber Demon.
Ooh.
From the other one. It's pretty much the same. But basically, what you think about like a classic demon, like hoofed feet and horns and all that stuff. One of his arms is just a big rocket launcher.
Classic demon rocket launcher.
In some versions, he's got like an upward facing rocket launcher that just shoots rockets up in the air and they'll land on you. I can't remember if that's old school or Brutal Doom or what, but anyway, big rocket launcher. If you get near him, he just stomps on you to death. And I'm talking about a rocket launcher. It's like nonstop. You just have to constantly move. He's got an endless supply of rockets.
Is that your first time trying to do a rocket launcher noise?
That's
Because
how
that was good.
Thank you. That's how it sounds in Brutal Doom.
That's so
I
good.
feel like a 7-year-old designed this character. Like, okay, so it's a giant demon with
Yeah.
horns, but his arm's a rocket launcher.
Fucking rad, dude. It's
And they're
rad.
like, also, it shoots really fast.
Now, how big is he? Because my
Yeah,
research, he's not very big. by
He's like
comparison.
25 feet.
Yikes.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
25 to 1,000. No, Cthulhu, he's a big fish god, so he doesn't walk a whole lot. He walks or stumbles. He's not like, juking people on a basketball court. You know what I mean? He's but fuck it, he's
400 times
more-
bigger.
Yeah, more than 10 times his size.
That's
What were you gonna say? Something?
no, that's a problem.
It's big, yeah. So we see really Cthulhu, you can't kill him or he's always dead. It's confusing. But anyway, in this fight, let's say you can't kill him for good. But we see him incapacitated. To say the least. He gets in the story. He gets his head cut open by a giant ship, and then he sort of starts to form back together like Liquid Terminator.
But we're led to believe that takes long enough that he is gone for
It took long enough for that
years
ship
or
to get
something.
away, for sure.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we got a tiny man with a rocket launcher, with an infinite rocket launcher versus fucking a mountain. Yeah. I didn't think, honestly, I don't think Cthulhu was going to get that far, but yeah, the cyber demon is not going to get scared to death. That's for sure. Yeah, I think Cthulhu will just stomp this little bitch.
He'll be like, "I'm sorry, boss. It's a tournament. I have to."
Pretty much.
I mean, I guess the whole thing that I was wondering though, as I was running this fight down in my head, is you said that he got ran over by the top of a boat, and that's what got him. I mean, this thing is a bombardment weapon. Could it not just mortar blast the top of its head? Like, I don't know.
I think so. That happens if you. He only does that if you're like behind a corner or something like that. If you're in line of sight, which he will be in Tokyo,
Yeah.
he's just gonna point it at you and go.
When the guy is 400 times larger than you, line of sight is one of like 4 cardinal directions.
Yeah, and I don't know if those rockets can go above his head and then come down.
See, I don't know
pretty
the
fucking
range
tall.
or like. I just know that he
Yeah.
can hit basically an arena.
I mean, because Doom guy is like a 6 foot tall guy. You know,
So that's pretty easy.
So he's always shooting down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, also in the story, you said he gets his head split open by a boat.
It's a big boat.
It's a boat. I mean,
It's a big boat, and
how
it's going
fast is
full
that?
steam.
Yeah,
it's going full steam.
I don't understand how that happens.
It's not a yacht, and it's not like a Forrest Gump shrimp boat. You know what I mean? But it's a big boat, a big ship. Stop saying boat. You know how ships are shaped? I guess they got a wedge or whatever.
Ship shape?
Yeah. So spoiler,
Ursula.
whatever. It's like a 100-year-old story. So eat it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How fast was this boat going?
Okay, so
7
it was
miles
probably
an
going
hour?
full
so long ago. First, and Cthulhu is in the water, which is
Yes. So Cthulhu is chasing after this boat that's trying to get away, and he's gaining on the boat. So the captain of the ship goes, fuck this. And he just turns around and goes full steam at Cthulhu. And he just rides that boat and crashes into the top of his head and splits his head wide open.
Cthulhu should have just ducked. I don't understand why he wasn't like, why
Yeah,
that wasn't on his, I don't know.
If he's in the water, I feel like that's his environment.
Yeah,
He
I
should
almost
be able
ran
to-
over a bird while it was flying the other day. Like, you have all of the world to move around. Why did you pick this like 6 foot like cubic area to try and hang out?
Yeah. No
Whatever,
sympathy for that
okay?
situation.
Jeez.
So that's my concern: is if he can't even beat a boat.
Well, I would say it's how big do you think this? How heavy do you think this boat is? It's pretty substantial, and it's going pretty fast. I think it's going to be more than a series of rockets.
A hippo
Because
could beat a boat.
The cyber demon doesn't he doesn't do backflips. He doesn't run away from stuff. He stands there and looks at you and shoots rockets. I think he's going to be shooting him in the shins, and Cthulhu's just going to step on him. That's it.
Dude, it is me fighting against one of those like little green plastic soldier men. It's
Yeah.
so much smaller.
Exactly.
I'm 400 times bigger than this thing. I
All
hope my
right.
math is right because I've yelled 400 a whole bunch.
Yeah. Someone's like, yeah, it's not right.
Well, anybody going cyber?
I'm going Cthulhu.
I'd Cthulhu.
All right, goddammit. I have to poke holes in my shit.
I'm not even going to make my vote.
Oh.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Next fight is Megatron fighting against Smog. So Megatron obviously being the Transformers main villain, and then Smog is from Lord of the Rings.
Smaug.
I actually, okay, and you guys yell at me about everything, Star Wars and all that
Sure.
stuff. I've only watched like one of the Lord of the Rings movies. Not a big fan.
What are you doing on this podcast?
I like.
I'll say Lord of the Rings. I like those 3 movies a lot. I like Freeman. What's his
The
name?
Hobbit.
George.
George.
Michaels.
No, what Freeman? The guy who plays the Hobbit.
Of the Jungle.
What's his name?
Oh, in the newest ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
Gordon Freeman.
I don't
Jefferson.
remember, but he's
It's
Watson.
definitely not. Yeah, the guy who plays
Watson.
I think
That's
that
fine.
guy's great.
Curious George.
He does an awesome job, but I don't think those movies are very good. The Hobbit movies, I don't think they're that good.
I actually thought the first 2 were really good.
Yeah.
Wasn't as thrilled. The third one I just felt like was just like, hey, let's finish the story,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
kind of how it felt.
Yeah.
Bad fight scenes, just kind of bad. I remember the book being a lot
Martin
better.
Freeman.
Martin Freeman. Morgan.
Anyway,
Morgan
how
Freeman.
big is Smaug?
Smaug. They actually have never like narrowed it down to exactly how tall he is, but they looked at some of the drawings that Tolkien did, and he is about 88 feet tall is the estimation. He's centuries old. He can crush stone with ease because he's a big, strong dragon. He's got flight. He's got fire breath. He's supposed to be really durable, but he's got that soft underbelly, the way that dragons tend to do.
Didn't they have to get into a scale that was exposed? Like
Never saw the movie.
He has one space
Yeah.
that is open, and it's because a long time ago someone had shot him there and had knocked off one of his scales. So he had one real opening, like in his whole. I think he gets hit by some blunt stuff that does little things.
Yeah.
But to actually take him out, you had to hit him in this one specific spot. I feel like obviously that's probably not going to apply here.
Yeah, that's people with a big arrow, not fucking Megatron. How big is Megatron?
Megatron's 100 feet tall. And obviously, like you said, he's got rockets, he's got explosives. I always feel like his weapons change depending on the iteration that he is. I always liked the Beast Wars. Beast Wars is so good. I love Beast Wars.
Rad.
But he had like a big just dragon head for not dragon head, but a
Dinosaur, yeah.
T-Rex head
T-Rex,
for his
yeah.
hand that he'd use to bite people. And I think like in later iterations, he'd shoot lasers out of it. Doesn't matter. Super cool. Super rad.
Oh, it was awesome.
But he's got lasers and cannons and stuff like that, and he wasn't always a bad guy even. I was doing some research on that, and apparently he started off as being like a buddy, a training underneath another Prime with Optimus Prime. Sort of they were going to take on leadership of the Autobots or the Transformers, and then he got jealous of Optimus Prime because being a Prime, he was destined to sort of be the new leader. And he was like, fuck that, I'm going to make the Decepticons, we're going to war, and then that was kind of the beginning of the end.
For the record, that is exactly like Orokusaki and Splinter, whatever Splinter's real name is.
What?
Splinter and Shredder. It was like they're buddies in the same school, and then one of them's a dick and one of them's not.
Love it.
Does what does he turn into a truck or what?
The current
What's his
one, I
vehicle?
don't know that we've seen the current movie one change into anything.
The
Michael Bay?
I was gonna say the current Megatron. I thought was like a jet, but that could
That's
be
Starscream.
One of
that's
them.
Starscream.
Yeah,
You're right. So,
Starscream!
I feel like he had to have right.
You gotta
Like
have something.
yeah,
Like
like
Segway scooter, like a huge one. I don't know. All right, so Megatron versus who?
Smog.
Smaug.
Which is I gotta go Megatron personally. I think he's got-
Lasers and rockets, right?
Yeah, lasers and rockets.
I don't know
I'll
that-
go Megatron.
Yeah, I don't know that Smog could like bite into him or really do. I think the fire's not going to do much to a guy who's made of, diamondonium or whatever it is. Okay, so cool. We all for Megatron?
Megatron sounds good to me.
All right, next fight is the Hydra from Hercules, which I'm going to kind of like use some of his mythological lore, fighting against Maul. So Maul is kind of the deep cut of the night, I think.
Maul's rad, dude.
I have no idea who Maul
Yeah,
is.
tell me about Maul.
Okay, so Maul is from the he's Wildcats. Wildcats is the team, and
Is that Image Comics?
that is Image as well. I love it's weird. I always feel like the deep cuts tend to be Image, but
It's not Dark Horse.
it's not Dark Horse.
Okay.
No. Anyways, so Maul is the heavy for the Wildcats team, and the Wildcats team is really cool. They're fighting against you guys. Did you ever watch the Mighty Ducks cartoon? There's like an alien invasion that's happening. The world seems to be normal, but we know that there's some bad stuff, and
Yeah.
they're kind of the aliens are hiding their true identities and being out there. That's kind of what's going on with the Wildcats universe, and they have these their main like benefactor is this little like short businessman. He's like technically like a little person, and it's all drawn by Jim Lee, who does a ton of Batman and Superman stuff. If you want to go check it out, the art is really good.
It's awesome, yeah.
But Maul is the heavy of the team, and Maul functions a lot like Beast from the X-Men, where he's really, really smart. He's a Nobel Prize winner, but he has the ability to...
Nobel Prize.
Did I say Nobel Prize?
Nobel Prize.
Ugh, God. Nobel.
Nobel.
Nobel. So he's very intelligent, but as he grows bigger, when he gets larger, he gets dumber. And there's almost always, like every so often, there's a point in time where they're all fighting and he's got to get bigger to help him win. And he gets too big. And he gets too big and he's just like, I'm just going to break stuff. And then he just starts becoming a problem. And then they have to kind of like calm him down or stop it. He sort of like has this Hulk mechanic to him. But he's got a girlfriend, Voodoo is the character that's on their team, that actually will talk to him. And she's an empath. And she has the ability to calm him down. But sometimes it's really hard to get his attention and all that stuff. He's so rad. He's got big, cool, like, ram horns coming out his shoulder blades, and he's purple and green, and not in a dumb Barney way, but in an awesome, badass 90s way. And he's just the fucking coolest.
Yeah, if somebody's purple, they're almost always their accent color is green, or the opposite. If somebody's green, almost always their accent color is purple. I've noticed.
That's weird to me because, like, just color theory, the opposite of purple, the complementary color would be yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but like personality wise, he's such a good dude. He's like a really no bail guy, you know.
Oh, that one hurt. He's okay. And to answer the question of how big he is, I couldn't find anything that narrowed it down exactly, so I looked at the biggest picture I could find of him, and he was like fighting another dude across like buildings, and I measured each window to get an idea of how many stories it was, and I would guess he's about 250 feet tall at max.
Nice.
Dang.
Put
Now,
a
who
lot of
is he
work into
fighting
that.
again?
He is fighting against the Hydra from Hercules, the movie.
How tall
Oh.
that thing?
The Hydra, again, I had to do the same thing where I figured out how tall Hercules was.
Uh-huh.
Hercules is about 6'5", and I found a picture of them standing next to each other, and I just like copied and pasted like Hercules on top of each other, and he's 7 Hercules tall. There you go. That answers your questions. No, he's about 45 feet tall, so he's not that big by comparison.
How many Hercules is small?
You
You didn't do that.
Give
did
me
you?
a second.
You didn't really prepare for this, did you?
So 7.
400.
400.
I think okay. So the rule with the Hydra is you cut off one head, 3 come back in that stump. Right?
Yeah, I was reading up on that. You know, one other thing about the 3 is that supposedly the middle head can now breathe fire.
Yeah. All right. So classic.
Not the other 2.
Classic mythology. I think Hercules had to like cauterize the hole shut, so he had to get his sword hot, cut the heads off, right? Because it's essentially immortal unless you. If it has one head, it's still going to be alive. Now, in the movie, the Disney movie, he crushes it with the rock. I think Maul can crush this fucking thing. Just
I think
squish
he
it.
might just crush it almost immediately.
Yeah, I think Maul's
going
going to just squish this thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was thinking about Maul being really, really intelligent. He may know the lore of the Hydra.
Yeah.
But he gets dumber as he gets bigger. I argue he wouldn't think today. He might just.
Yeah, but okay, this thing's 45 feet tall. He can get up to 250 feet tall. I think he's still pretty intelligent when he's 100 feet tall that it takes for him to kill that thing.
I think when he's small, he can go, okay, I need to either cauterize this thing or I watched that Disney movie, so I'm just going to get big and squish him. And then,
I like the idea of him like, okay, so I'm small and I'm going to watch this movie because it's a documentary and it questions my intelligence. But on the other side of it, he's sitting at home and he's like, I really love Hercules. I'm going to get about 200 feet tall and I'm just going to have the best time.
I think it's Maul. Anybody think it's a Hydra?
I don't see how it's not Maul. I think the Hydra... Oh, the one thing about the Hydra is he's supposed to have a lot of venom that's really dangerous and deadly. But I think it's really dangerous and deadly to a normal person who's 6'5".
Yeah.
I don't think it's really dangerous and deadly to a guy who's 250 feet tall.
Yeah, we're talking about 250 compared to 45.
Yeah.
So
Holy cow.
250 is like a way bigger number.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
that's
It's
bigger.
like 400 times bigger.
I think he just got...
yeah, about 400, I'd say.
He's just pulling off heads left and right and go, oh, this doesn't work. How about I just squish it? How about I
Yeah.
just crush it in
Yeah.
my hands? So the winner is Maul, right? Everybody cool with that?
Maul.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, next fight is Indominus Rex fighting against Ganon. And I was talking, I thought we should do the Dark Beast Ganon, which is the end of the Legend of Zelda game. Breath of the Wild. So you guys want to tell me a little bit about that guy? I actually haven't beaten the game.
Yes.
Spoilers,
Yeah.
everybody at
Well,
home.
this is one part of the boss, but when you see
I can't leave.
You can't-
I'm literally
Well,
standing in front of
I'm
Hyrule
just
Castle.
gonna describe what you see.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'm not how you beat him or whatever.
fair.
But This is the biggest incarnation of Ganon in Breath of the Wild, and he's pretty much made of energy or something. Yeah, he's pretty much made of like evil energy, and he's probably. No, this is a big pig, right? So this pig is standing tall at like 60 feet or 70 or something like that. So he's pretty fucking
Dang.
big. Pretty fucking big. Yeah, like he'll roar out this evil energy.
I looked at it and my guess was 40 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably in the ballpark.
Yeah. Anyway, that's him. He doesn't offer a lot of outside of him just roaring this fire. You don't see him do a whole lot, but
He stomps around. If you get close, you're going to get
yeah,
crushed. He
yeah,
shoots a
that's-
big
that's
laser out of his mouth, I think.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, this is still Ganon with that like
Yeah.
super durability, like
Yeah.
probably immune to some magic. Like, dude's fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
Like Ganon
Yeah.
ain't no slouch.
It's a big deal. And then who we got?
And the other guy was Indominus Rex from Jurassic Park.
The newest one.
Jurassic
The
World,
newest one.
actually.
Chris Pratt.
Let's
Which
get
is
that in
also,
there.
I looked it up, he's 40 feet tall and 50 feet in length. He's a he's a hybrid of several different animals and dinosaurs and such. And his teeth are all disjointed because of that. Some of them are bigger than others. And he's supposed to be super intelligent. I believe he can even camouflage his temperature. Not that that's necessarily helpful in this, but it's just a weird aspect. They were trying to give him the ability to regenerate or something from a frog, and instead they accidentally gave him the frog's ability to camouflage.
Now, Ganon is definitely bigger than this dinosaur, I believe, but this is kind of hard too because he's made of this energy, and typically in Zelda games, the way you beat the Ganon beast is you shoot him with a light arrow or whatever. So it's kind of hard to compare
what he's
physical
vulnerable
strikes to what hurts Ganon. You know what I mean? But that aside, I think Ganon wins. He's just way bigger.
Yeah. No, I was already leaning Ganon just in the sense that he has magic, the fire, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's really just a big dinosaur. Whether he's smarter than a regular dinosaur or not is kind of irrelevant, I think. So
now,
I'm going
Indominus Rex has thumbs. Does that do anything for him?
But
saying
they're
nothing
still
about
attached to
thumbs.
really tiny arms, so
Yeah, I think Ganon's got it. Let's take away that vulnerability aspect that we were talking about. Usually it takes some distinctively good item to injure him. He's still giant. He's still going to be hard to hit. His weak spots are going to be difficult to find, especially by an animal, even though it is a super intelligent animal relative to animals.
Yeah, I think it's Ganon.
Okay, Ganon it is. Next fight is Aaron from Attack on Titan fighting against the Pacific Rim robot.
Gypsy Danger. That's the Pacific Rim robot.
Gypsy Danger.
So yeah, I feel like we've talked about Aaron a decent bit on the podcast. Recently, actually, in the newest show, Aaron is actually able to control his Titan form a lot better now. He's actually able to people talk to him and he can understand what they're saying.
That's the last 2 episodes.
Well, it just recently, just this past season, because in the past it was kind of he just would go into this kind of blind rage type deal. Regeneration, fast, really skilled fighter, and that's pretty much the basic stuff on Aaron, I think, for the most part.
We almost went past this. This is Aaron Yeager versus a Jaeger.
Oh my God!
wow.
How did that happen?
Yeah,
Weird.
Wow!
close.
Yeah, I can't believe we almost skipped
thanks,
that.
Alex.
Aaron Yeager,
Aaron Yeager.
Gypsy Danger.
Well, and he can take damage, but he heals very quickly unless you get
quickly.
the nape of his neck. And the
Yes.
nape of his neck is his actual physical body, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, it's been a little while since I've seen the first season, but if he takes too much damage, eventually he just gets tired and he can't heal anymore, right?
Yeah, that takes a while typically. And usually his body will sort of just inherently recover itself. Kind of also his healing can depend on how angry he is at that time, how out of whack his emotions are, as odd as that sounds. Sometimes it's the more control he has, the harder his healing is, but the more skilled he is when he fights and stuff. So
Does this Jaeger have I can't remember, does he have a sword or anything, or is it just
he does have a sword when he needs it. It's really
that's right, yeah, he
right.
pulls it out at the end, doesn't
God,
it? It's
it
like
takes-
a laser.
It was ridiculous.
sword.
He's in this insane fight scene with this giant I can't. It's one of those stupid monsters.
Pacific
They
Rim
all
monster, yeah.
right. The one of 50 that look
Yeah.
the same, and they're losing, and they're oh no, we're gonna lose. And then the girl he's with is no, we're not, because we got a sword now. And it's you could have started the fight with the sword.
You
This fight
bitch.
would have been over
Yeah.
so quickly.
Well,
So yes, he does have a sword.
I looked it up. He's 290 feet tall, whereas Aaron's 50 feet tall.
I hate how it's coming to this because he's bigger. He's probably going to win. But
Wow.
if Aaron has any kind of intelligence, would he be able to figure out that there's people inside controlling Gypsy Danger?
I mean, the thing is, I don't. There are no robots in the Attack on Titan universe. That is for sure. But his typical strategy would be to attack it and probably either jump up it, climb up it, and try and beat it to death. That would be the strategy, I think.
Yeah, no, the size difference is pretty big. Might be too big to do karate against, but Aaron is way better at fighting and more agile than this Jaeger, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Jaeger throws a punch, he can get way out of the way of that.
He had to charge up punches a lot of the time too.
They would elbow would have a rocket behind it. That's
yeah,
pretty sweet.
right. But it would take
Yeah.
5 minutes. It's so stupid. Make a better robot.
Yeah, I think. I mean, those Jaegers get rattled. I think he might be able to put some damage on it.
I think Aaron's got it. I'm actually, having not watched the movie, I pulled up like a little scene of them fighting. They move pretty slow. I mean, relative to their size, it's back to that like giant Ant-Man thing where it takes me forever to take a step. They're very capable, but he's like when he's running, it looks like a casual jog.
It's a cool movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a really cool movie. Lots of like little plot holes in there in the sense
Sam did not care for it.
Huh? It was a cool
liked
movie.
it.
All right, get
Charlie
high with
did
some
it.
of your friends and watch
Charlie
Pacific
Day's in
Rim.
it.
It's fun. And
What did
Charlie
you not like
Day's in
about it? I didn't see it either, so I trust Sam's opinion more though in this one. Unfortunately,
That's totally fine.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember when I saw it, I was just thoroughly unimpressed.
Fair. I mean, you get what you pay for. It's robots fighting space dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, the plot wasn't what I came to that movie for.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was stupid. It's like, oh, you have monsters coming out of the ocean instead of like developing weapons that could just like blow them up, nuclear bombs and stuff. Instead, their solution was let's make giant fucking robots and fight them, which is awesome. Probably not the best use of taxpayer dollars. I'm just throwing it out there. Like,
yeah, you know how weak a knee joint is on a normal person? When you get like that much torque behind a robot that's 7,000 tons, that thing's gonna shatter. You can't design it well enough to survive.
Well, I think if Aaron and this Jaeger were closer in size, it would be a lot easier decision. But this thing is 5 times bigger than Aaron.
Yeah,
it's 5 times, and he's got a laser
400 or
sword.
500 times.
Something like that. I don't.
400
know.
times.
There's no telling.
I'm leaning towards Aaron because I think Aaron is crafty enough and very, very aggressive. And I think if he takes damage, he's going to keep healing. And that you can't say the same thing for the other guy. When Aaron lands something and tears off your shoulder blade or something, that's gone. You don't just heal up.
But he's tearing at other flesh and blood titans. He's not punching a big metal robot. You know what I mean?
We saw him punch a tree, like one of those giant trees once, didn't we?
There is an armor titan in there.
there is an armor titan in there.
Have they fought yet?
Oh,
I haven't seen the new
dang.
season.
And he's bigger, too. He's 4 or 5 times bigger, something like that, right?
The armor titan is actually only a few feet taller than Aaron. The colossal titan is the one that's like 3 times bigger.
Okay, did he fight that?
No, he did fight the armored though. That does.
Well,
that
how did
does.
he do against that?
He was
Spoiler, maybe.
he was-
Spoiler,
I don't want to give too much of a spoiler.
Yeah, please.
He does fine. He does well.
Okay, well, shit. Then maybe Aaron.
I just think he has like the wherewithal to be like, hey, like this thing doesn't work. This hard punch I throw doesn't work. Maybe I can just start taking this thing apart piece by piece.
Well,
I
and they're in
think that's-
Tokyo. They're in a band in Tokyo. I think he can climb up a building and jump from behind you. He can hide in a way that the other guy can't. The other guy's super slow.
Yeah.
Aaron could sneak around if he needed to.
I'm gonna go Aaron.
All
go
right,
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron it is.
All right, so we're into round 2 now. The first fight of round 2 is Godzilla, who survived, fighting against the Iron Giant. And again, Godzilla's 400 feet tall, and the Iron Giant's, do we decide he was 100 feet tall?
60 to 70,
60.
I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
60 to 70 feet tall.
He's
oh,
little.
no.
This is going to come up every fight we have Godzilla, and I'm not sorry. Plasma breath. Plasma fire breath. I don't think Iron Giant can take it.
Iron Giant's really durable, man. Like, he got hit by a nuke. A nuke. Nukes are mad hot, dude.
I mean, I think a tail swipe is going to be about as hard as a train, as a 1950s train.
That's good. He's really inconsistent with his durability. That's going to be a problem. Because anytime I'm like, oh, nuke, you're just going to be like, here's a normal. He bumped into a VW bug and he fell over.
What does Iron Giant have that's going to hurt Godzilla?
Gogeta.
Moral high ground. I don't know. I got nothing.
Rockets, bullets, does anything have an effect on Godzilla?
In that
to
movie,
extent?
Godzilla gets hit with plenty of
Yeah.
rockets and bullets.
Okay, so let's play the hypothetical. Godzilla looks hyper aggressive. He's breathing fire out of his face. You go, okay, I'm Iron Giant. I freak out. No, Hogarth, no. And his chest opened up. It's gonna fire off that big laser. It hits Godzilla square in the forehead. Does he die?
I don't think he. Okay, first of all, I don't think he immediately freaks out. Whether or not this thing looks hyper aggressive or not, I think something has to happen to make him think he would be hyper aggressive in order for Iron Giant to immediately just chest cannon, I guess is where I'm going with that.
The guy looks like a nightmare. He looks like 400 nightmares stacked on top of each other.
Iron Giant's pretty dumb, and he's like a nice guy too. He might like see the best in people until they pull out guns type deal.
No, I'm telling you right now, Iron Giant is afraid of spiders.
Yeah, I think with a giant lizard monster, I don't think it's a stretch to say he's just going to go straight into chest cannon.
I do like the idea of like, say he gets through this and maybe eventually he's gonna fight Cthulhu. He's just like, oh no, and just immediately loses his mind because of the evil aura.
I just remembered in the movie he's got a weapon that just will encompass you in this green plasma and just you disappear.
What?
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
What?
So
I don't remember
when
that
was
at
that?
all.
I think he did it to like when the army was coming at him. I think he did it to like a car.
Oh
And it
God!
just
Thankfully
disappeared.
not a
fucking
person.
disappeared.
I remember that, unless you're just implanting that memory in my head, which might be possible.
Fucking Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So which I don't think he'd have the ability to produce something large enough to
big
do that to
enough
Godzilla.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a factor. It's a thing. Yeah. Okay. He shoves that thing down Godzilla's throat. Godzilla's like, my gallbladder, and then commences to kill everything.
Yeah.
I think Godzilla's got it.
Say goodbye to your dick. And then Godzilla's dick's gone.
And Godzilla just goes back into the ocean.
Dickless lizard.
Fun fact about Godzilla: probably doesn't have a dick because he reproduces asexually. Reproduces asexually.
Is that in the movie?
I looked up a bunch of
It was
Godzilla
in
facts.
it was in at least in the original one with Matthew Broderick. Yeah, he totally reproduced asexually.
is Godzilla a lizard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ferris
If
Bueller
this
had
fight
a bad
happens
day.
in the upcoming fights, that's going to be a factor.
Well, actually, so the original Godzilla, I think, is like an atomic lizard that got mutated into this huge thing. The Bryan Cranston 2016, he's like an age-old just monster. He's not. He looks like a lizard, but he's not
Yeah.
like a
Still,
gecko or something.
that will have a factor.
Okay. I mean, he looks like how he looks. He looks like a big lizard. So
Anybody got a way the Iron Giant stops him? I do not.
no, I think
No.
it's Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Plasma breath.
All right, next fight is Choji fighting against Cthulhu.
Choji's
Cthulhu.
out.
Choji's
So
out.
this is what I was gonna
1,000
say.
feet tall.
What I was going to say is Choji. This information was revealed in some of the Naruto chronicles. I think it was like the second one. Anyways, Choji's afraid of lizards.
Yes.
Choji's and if
Yes!
Godzilla he'd be afraid of, but Cthulhu, who's
Oh, yeah.
infinitely more terrifying than Godzilla, he's out. He's done.
He might just fucking die right there.
So when you're talking about Cthulhu just killing people due to sheer fright.
So when in Call of Cthulhu, when they accidentally wake him up, he fucking boom kicks the door open. He comes out and he immediately eats like 3 guys, and then 2 of them just die of fright. That's what he said. They just fucking
Eep,
die of
dead.
fright. Yeah, and then they're dead. You know, I'm into it.
on top of him being the size of a fucking mountain,
Yeah.
a terrifying mountain.
Ow, my courage.
All right. So Murph, you got nothing for Koji, right?
I actually did not know he was afraid of lizards. And I think that right there is enough for me to be
Yeah.
like, yep, that's it.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's his weakness, but 1,000 feet tall.
All right. Cthulhu.
Okay, Cthulhu. Wow.
Moving on up.
Next fight is Megatron fighting against Maul.
Megatron, 100 feet tall. Maul is 200. Is that correct?
250 for Maul.
Figgity.
250.
It
Yeah,
sounds
I think,
like
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so can Maul just kind of like exponentially increase his size to what he wants it to be, or is it like he's this size now he's 250 feet tall?
He can scale.
He can
as
ramp
needed.
essentially. Is he the type that would like start at the size that Megatron's at and then get bigger, or is
Yeah,
he gonna
probably.
go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, the small version of Maul is still a guy who's 10 feet tall.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, that's his like base is 10 feet.
That's the Nobel Prize winner size is the 10-foot tall one.
You only do it because it hurts me.
Okay, so I think that's correct because he doesn't want to get super huge because he'll get dumb as fuck and he can't come back down basically. So I think you're right. I think he's gonna match size, and I think he's gonna be stronger than Megatron.
They don't know the upper limits of how big he can get because he tends to forget that that's what he's trying to do. Like they always said that he just gets, I'm too dumb, and now I forgot that I'm supposed to be trying to grow. The reason he can grow is because he's half human and half an alien race called Titanthropes, and being that, he's able to just go, okay, well, I'm gonna turn into a Titanthrope and get big.
That's wild. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
he's
power.
super cool, man. Wildcats is such a badass team. They got that one guy
They're
on the
always
team
a badass
who's
team.
just got blades for hands. That's his whole thing. Is he's just got giant
That was
blade
my
hands.
favorite when I was a kid.
And then they
Of
got Grifter, who's like a cool version of like a Punisher. Dude, that whole team is cool. Except
Yeah.
Spartan. I don't like Spartan that much. He's the leader. He's a little boring.
course. I think it's cool that like he gets he gets 250 feet tall, and then he gets so dumb he doesn't know what's going on. And they're like, he could get bigger, which makes me think he could get dumber. Like, how much dumber do you get? Like, he just like stops fighting and just starts putting his hands in his pants and like eating shit. And
He's 400 feet tall, but look at him.
like licking handrails and stuff. Like, how much dumber can you get?
So to that effect, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at a big giant licking, I guess, big giant people handrails.
Like all the windows, yeah. Every window on a building.
He's already big and he's already strong and he's already durable. And if he's at the same size as Megatron, I don't think Megatron's incredibly smart. I don't think smarts is going to be what wins this fight.
Well, Megatron is super smart, isn't he?
Well, yes, he's smart in this strategic, like general sort of way. Like he's going to make a plan of how he's going to take over stuff, which still seems to be like we're just going to show up and shoot him with rockets. But the fact of the matter is that
solid strategy.
Like Stephen Hawking's incredibly smart, or like, but you put him against John Jones. John Jones is going to beat the ever-loving shit out of him.
You're talking about he's really smart at strategies. Like he knows he's a big tactician, but he looks at Maul. It's like, oh, this guy's got to be like 400 times my size or something. I don't know.
I just
math isn't my thing.
my point being that at the end of the day, he will have to win because he physically put damage on him. It's not like Maul has like a soft spot. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to say like a weak spot somewhere, but it's not like Maul has a soft spot that Megatron could damage that would cause him. That's how he gets dumber. He hits the soft spot. And he's just like 2,000 feet tall.
I'm still going back to the comparing
Stephen Hawking and John Jones.
Stephen Hawking.
I just picked two people. I was like under pressure. The mics are on. You know?
Megatron can move his arms and legs at the very least. It's a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
Like,
after I said it, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have picked Stephen Hawking.
How about
those
this?
other guys
if I had guns
with
and
the
lasers.
basic facilities?
I'm smarter than a chimp, but a chimp would rip my nuts and foot off in one grab.
Exactly. Thank you for the better metaphor.
But like a chimp versus like Stephen Hawking, like Stephen Hawking's way smarter than I am.
Ooh.
So
I think you got a good chance though.
I don't know if he nope, not doing it. Never mind.
Oh, come on.
Shout out to Stephen
We're done
Hawking.
with that one. Yeah.
Stephen Hawking
I
bracket.
respect you very much.
I did too. I went to you because you're the smartest person I could think of, not because of all the other stuff. I don't even see you like that. That's why you're on. Oh God, I just need to stop.
Just stop now.
Okay, so Maul takes it. I'm for Maul.
I'm good with that.
I
Boom.
think Maul's
moving
cool.
way
I like
on.
that answer.
Maul. Okay, next fight is Dark Beast Ganon fighting against Eren from Attack on Titan, and they're probably about the same size, right?
Close.
Yeah,
I think this
I
will
would
be
say
the
so.
closest.
So I think height wise they're the same size, but it would be like if me and a horse were the same height. I mean, the horse is going to be way bigger because it's long.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
Natural weapons too.
But that's the thing about Ganon is everybody else has physical weakness, but he's like this big, ball of evil energy. Like, how do we hurt him? You know what I mean? I think if it's not like a light arrow, it's got to be like a whole lot of physical damage. you know?
Well, okay, so I've played some of the bad guys in Zelda, and they tend to be, you have to hit it in certain spots to do damage to it, and then it's going to unlock maybe the next spot that you have to hit. I imagine this is a similar thing without any spoilers.
Let's just go with what I said earlier.
Okay, well, I kind of forgot that.
Backtrack, please.
He's just a big ball of evil energy. You know what I mean? And the way, so again, in most of these games, the way that Link and or Zelda beat him is with a light arrow.
Yeah.
And that's just what they happen to do. It's hard to put him in this other universe where we don't have light arrows.
Well, the question I was going to bring was that if there's a spot that he needs to deal damage to, then Eren, that's what he does currently. He fights big, giant monster guys. He knows that everybody's got the soft spot on the nape of their neck where you attack that actual core version of them. He goes after that currently. He's used to having that kind of fight, and he just says, hey, I'm fighting you. I need to hit your ankle, or I need to hit your spine or something like that that's got that weak spot, and he just does that, and he can heal. I imagine they both can heal. I think he heals better, but Ganon's probably more durable. It's just a trade-off there.
I'd go with that.
I'm guessing Aaron's a lot faster too.
I think so too.
I haven't seen the mechanic, but I remember from the Ocarina of Time, Ganon when he got bigger was really slow. I don't know how he compares in this game.
Let's just say it's Aaron. I'm trying not to ruin anything.
Okay.
But,
Let's go, Aaron. I like that answer.
Let's just go Aaron. Because
If I can throw in one more thing as to why I think Eren takes it, is the environment. I think that Ganondorf's going to have a lot of trouble moving through the city where an Eren won't.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So we'll say that's the reason why, not whatever Karsten's knows in his
Yeah.
secret brain.
That's awfully nice of you to like not give spoilers and stuff, though.
Yes, sir.
I do appreciate that.
Okay, next fight. We are coming down to the final four. We've got Godzilla fighting Cthulhu.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
I wanted this.
Oh yeah. I hope they like go into the water and then they fight underwater too.
I'm trying to. Okay, well, yeah. I'm trying to think how Godzilla would perceive Cthulhu, because he's got, for normal men, half of them die when they see him. I think they're similar enough, but one is obviously way more scary. It'd be like me if I walk out into an arena and on the other end is Ving Rhames. I'll be like, that's familiar, but that guy's scary as shit. That's like a mean dude, So I don't think Godzilla's just gonna die.
No, I don't think he's just gonna die.
We're talking about 400 versus 1,000 feet, right?
That's way bigger. Now, Godzilla's got better weapons. He actually has the plasma fire, and we've seen Cthulhu take damage from a boat. A boat.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let that go.
I know, you shouldn't.
To me, that leans towards Godzilla.
I know. Okay, so honestly, I didn't think Cthulhu would make it this far, but he's just so fucking big.
He's huge.
Shit, dude, it's probably Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, to bring up a point you brought up earlier, plasma fire. Am I right? That's
That's
a
exactly
thing.
what I'm
Like,
what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Plasma fire is no joke, dude.
melts off his legs, maybe. Like,
I don't know if
sealed
legs
Cthulhu's
can melt
fate.
like that, but sure.
I mean, but they might.
it
Like,
might.
I think
mean-
plasma fire melts everything.
One thing I didn't mention, Cthulhu smells really bad.
Really?
Smells really bad.
Huh.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't eat him. Probably wouldn't bite into him.
No. It smells really bad.
You can kind of assume that though, just by looking at him. Like,
Yeah.
That city is in trouble. Like having those two big guys, those are the two biggest competitors, just teeing off on each other.
Well, okay, so we got plasma breath versus someone who's over twice as big as Godzilla. I think if Cthulhu can land he stumbles, he lumbers, so he's not gonna wind back like a DK punch and boom, let him have it. He's just gonna kind of swing his limbs, but if you get one of those big ass limbs swung at you, it's gonna hurt.
It'd be hard to avoid.
He's gonna get knocked down.
I feel like he may not avoid it necessarily, though he does have a better chance than Cthulhu has of avoiding something. But I can see him swiping with an arm and then Godzilla like bracing the impact, like taking it, sliding backwards through a couple buildings, being mad about it, and then biting his hand or shooting plasma breath on that arm. And Cthulhu just kind of, ow, dang it, okay. And then eventually Godzilla sort of just eventually shooting plasma base
Just
into his
whittles him
stomach.
down by breathing
Yeah.
fire on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Godzilla.
I think he can run out of the plasma fire though.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And that
does
guy's
happen in the
1,000
movie.
feet tall.
That's a lot of fire.
That's a lot of fire. Will he run out?
I'm leaning towards Cthulhu. I don't think Godzilla could take that much damage.
really?
Swaying me. It's easy to sway me on this one, but you're swaying me. Yeah, because I forgot
I feel
that
like
he
we're
can run
talking
out.
about it because you want to be swayed.
Explain
well,
that.
I
though.
did forget that he can run out of plasma fire.
Well, I mean, again, looking at the size difference, if you get hit by this fucking gigantic swing,
Sure.
I don't know how durable Godzilla is, but I feel like that would do some damage. Again, he's kind of his stability isn't that good. You can knock him over; it'd be hard for him to get back up.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm 6 feet tall. Okay, so let's use me as,
Ooh.
as an example.
good for me.
Let's use me as an example. So, if there was a 3 foot like thing, like person that was durable, but could also breathe plasma fire, I feel like I would probably lose. I guess if
Well,
you're
you're
going-
durable too in this imaginary situation.
No, not
mean,
to,
Cthulhu's
not to
durable.
plasma fire though. I don't know, man. What is durable against plasma fire? Like, name a thing.
Okay, well, for the record, I'm 6'1" for folks at home, and 2,
Ooh.
I'm the tallest one here. And
He's not 6'1".
He's not. No, he's not.
Can any of you prove that? I don't think you can. So,
You are the exact same as me.
in almost everything, yeah.
So that means I'm 6'1".
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm like
Ladies.
6'1.5".
I
So
already said I was 5'8" on a good day.
I'm
I
pretty
wish I
tall.
knew we were gonna do this.
I'm pretty tall. Yeah, so he does run out of plasma breath, and in the movie we see Godzilla versus this moth thing, and the moth thing is about as tall as Godzilla, and it almost fucks him up. And now there are 2 of them. You could argue it's 2 against 1, but I mean Cthulhu is over twice the size of Godzilla.
I can't think of anything more vulnerable to fire than a fucking moth. And if it
Yes,
almost
that's
takes
true.
Godzilla,
God damn it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, we didn't even see half the fight between the Godzilla and the
Let
Moth.
them fight.
They like to keep cutting away from that fight scene. It was infuriating.
Yeah.
I think we've exhausted this one.
I was
I
gonna
think
say,
we
I
gotta
think
pick
you
something
swayed
else.
me a
Shit.
little bit.
Yep. You turned me back. It's Cthulhu, I think. Too big.
Murph, say it.
Cthulhu.
For Cthulhu.
All right. Cthulhu
God
takes
damn
that
it.
one. Okay, we are down to the second to last fight. We have Maul from
Wildcats.
fighting against Aaron from Attack on Titan.
It's a cool one.
That is a cool
actually.
one.
Max. Okay, so I think again Maul is going to match the size. I bet Maul has the same kind of fighting prowess that Aaron does, or pretty close. And if he doesn't, he gets bigger.
Yeah, Maul. He's always struck me as a brawler, where I think Aaron is faster. He's probably zippier, and he's going to land more shots and be more aggressive and tenacious in that way. But Maul is that he's fighting a bear. Basically. I mean,
Yeah.
he just swings at you. It's not a lot of strategy. It's just big, heavy hits, and he'll grab your face and throw you through a building and stuff.
But that's Maul's strategies, like hits like a bear, like big, bulky kind of thing. Because Aaron will break your arm off. Like Aaron will put you in arm bars and shit like that.
I mean, if you're the same size as him, but if you're,
Aaron caps at 50.
if
50
you're
feet.
if you're 5 times his size, I don't think it's.
I think at 100 feet, he's still going to be well aware of his faculties, and he's going to know that I'm smart enough to do this, and I know how to fight and kick, and I'm not just some idiot. And then he goes to 150 feet, and he's 3 times as big, and you're not putting him in an armbar anymore. And he goes to 200 or 250, and he's just like the dumbest kid you've ever met, but gosh darn it, he's angry.
it's fair.
But
But
I like
just-
Maul for it.
I just wonder if he gets too big, does he get too stupid? Like that kind of thing. If he's just throwing big, heavy punches at that point, like, is there a way that Aaron just rips his face off? Like,
I think if I fought a real life bear, I don't think that its lack of intelligence is going to offer me anything.
My karate is better than a bear's karate, but it's gonna get me.
But you don't have Titan strength either.
Well, that it starts.
Maul has more than Titan strength.
Yeah, he does. At that point, Aaron's biggest hit is still going to be a fraction of what Maul's capable of putting out.
Yeah.
I think it's Maul.
I think
That's
Maul,
fine.
too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Murph.
Yeah, no problem. I'll yield on this one.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the final fight is somehow. How did Cthulhu get all the way? I know. Cthulhu versus Maul. Now, this is one where I'm leaning towards Maul. I know he's a fourth of the size, but he's actually going to climb on you, and he's actually going to fight you with his realistic strategy and punching power. I think Aaron or Maul could take this one. Well, maybe not Aaron because Aaron's so much smaller, but Maul. Maul's mean.
Okay, well, I mean, I think he has to go big dumb 250. I mean,
Yeah,
even
that's
at
true.
big dumb 250, is he going to crawl up this guy?
I think the dumber you are, the more that seems like a viable strategy.
That's true.
That's my gut. I mean, and I think we might. I'm worried we're gonna fall into this trap of I really like Maul and you really like Cthulhu, and we're gonna argue who deserves it more.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel like I'm gonna listen back to this and feel like we made a mistake because I can't imagine Cthulhu winning because he lost to a boat.
He lost to a boat. To a boat.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy is a
this is exactly.
I keep going back to
prize.
This is
winner.
exactly like Iron Giant, where he took a nuke pretty well, but not a train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's 1,000 fucking feet tall, but a boat. I could go either way.
Like a slow boat, too. Like,
You don't know? How fast is a 2017 boat, Murph?
it's got.
Oh, you don't have a good answer?
It's gotta
How
be
fast is
faster
a
than
1930s boat, Murph?
Dude, it's gotta be.
Oh, it's
a lot
probably
faster.
different because I'm a boat expert. Fucking Murph.
It was probably going full steam at him because it's actually a steamboat.
I don't know.
Put more coals in the fire. We gotta go
Captain Jack's
faster.
boat was like really fast. And
The frog man's after us.
That shit's made of wood. Black Pearl.
Jesus Christ.
All right, it's fucking Maul.
No, I want to hear other people talk about it because I feel like Alex and I can keep yelling at it. He's given up already, though. He's so mad.
Jesus.
I know the boat thing happened. All right, I'm aware.
I had a train of thought, but I lost it.
Sam, what do you think?
I think Maul could beat a boat.
God damn it.
God damn it! I don't like this fight, man. Big old retard strength versus a boat. I don't like this at all.
Well, if you could enlighten me on Maul's durability, do you think he could sustain a few hits of someone of Cthulhu size?
Mountain.
I think that, I mean, I don't know if many people can sustain a few hits from somebody's side. Like, I think that it's gonna hurt him, but I just don't. He's so slow. Cthulhu's so big. Maul is. He gets big and dumb and crazy. He just starts to go, break everything. And I think he can take a couple hits, and that might make him more mad. He's got that Hulk thing about him where he just starts going and going and going. And he might get too big and too dumb and stuff, but I don't think Cthulhu's winning because he's strategic. I think he's winning because he's huge.
Yeah.
And this guy's not that much smaller, and he's way faster.
Now,
and
Maul,
way more intense.
He might get bigger than 250, but he's definitely going to be shitting all over himself. Like a 10-foot Maul will look at him and be like, damn, that's the Ving Rhames of Godzilla's right there. I'm going to have to go retard strength here.
My vote's going to be Maul.
Murph?
It is all on you.
Part of me wants to go Maul really bad.
The
boat,
smart part of you.
The boat logic is still there. It's killing me.
Boat logic.
But yeah, there's still that part of me that's like, but Cthulhu just kicks a stupid thing that's a fourth of his size.
Kicks him.
Yeah,
Kicks him.
Okay, so Maul, do you think he's dodging a foot? Do you think he's dodging a swing?
Might. He actually might.
The big dumb one?
He's not dodging anything.
He doesn't strike me as he's going to do a backflip over this foot that's coming at him.
I mean, he is generally super strong for his size. At 10 feet tall, he's still stronger than what I think a 10-foot tall guy could be.
Okay.
I mean, and that's weird that 10 feet is the smallest he can get. But Cthulhu, lumbering is the word that they use.
I mean, he's strong enough to lift a mountain-sized body. He's pretty strong. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's,
Well,
yeah.
the question was, would Big Dumb Maul dodge a big foot?
I think he...
You're backpedaling.
No,
you're
I haven't
stumbling here.
answered. Yeah, well, you know who else stumbles is that big old dumb Cthulhu guy. No, I think that he might not dodge all of it, but I think that he's got a better chance than Cthulhu has of dodging stuff. I think that
Cthulhu didn't dodge the only boat in the like a 5 mile
He's the
radius
dumb bird
at
I
least.
almost killed.
Boats 1, Cthulhu 0.
Yeah, this is Tokyo. That's a harbor city. There's probably plenty of boats.
Oh yeah.
He'll think twice.
Also, with the environment, I think that's Maul's advantage, definitely.
Yeah, Maul's used to fighting that kind of stuff. We see it on the regular, and he's got those big like horn things on his shoulder blades. I know it's silly to say it, but I just find in my head I see him piercing him in some way using that
In the brain.
in the brain, possibly.
Yeah, damn it.
I don't know. Guys, I can go either way on it because
really-
I do actually understand I can relate to him being just that big. I kind of get frustrated when we do these brackets that it's like, we're going to do the old man bracket and the oldest guy wins. We're going to do the giant bracket. He's the biggest guy.
Well, he's 4 feet. 4 times the
He's
size. I'm
really
going
big.
Cthulhu, actually, now that I think about it.
Okay.
Murph.
Yeah, I do think I'm leaning Cthulhu, actually.
It's just whoever talks last. That's all that happens. Is whoever gave the last speech is the one that we all lean towards.
It looks like whoever's the tallest is swaying everybody else, which is me.
Yeah,
Alex.
but I'm going to get dumber right now.
Karstens.
Just right now.
Hart, what do you think?
That was your audio representation of getting dumb is going.
That used to be my voicemail message.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I used to call you just to hope you didn't pick up. Instead of a hey, this is Sam, leave a message. You'd call and then it would ring a while and you go. And then
Carson, you had a funny one, didn't you? For a while?
probably
I changed that when I was getting my new job.
getting jobs.
Because I was like, if I don't answer, I'm not going to get this job.
Mine to this day is still, hey, this is Alex. Sorry I can't get to the phone. If you could just leave your name, number, and your favorite soup, I'll give you a call right back. So I get a lot of people giggling and just being like, I like tomato bisque.
Lobster bisque. Well, you and Murph and AC, you guys are both for Cthulhu.
Yep. Yes, we are.
I'm from all. I think he's an actual superhero that throws punches and
hold
kicks
on.
and stuff.
Okay, you got the boat argument and you got 4 times the size argument.
Yeah.
How do you
real.
apples to oranges? How do you do this?
Yeah, dude, a boat. It's a boat.
Boats are big. Boats are big and fast and made of metal, Murph.
They're not 200.
I'm actually on your side right now.
All right, sorry. I'm lashing out.
Half of this episode is just going to be talking about boats. I'm for Maul, man. I think a boat is a really dumb thing to die by, and I think Maul actually. That's his full-time job is fighting other giant stuff. Like, he fights big demons and monsters
The
and stuff.
picture you showed us of Maul at his biggest, he's fighting a guy that's the same size.
Yes, he's fighting, but he had to get that big. I mean, there's a chance, because we don't know the upper limits of his powers, that he could get even bigger. He could be like, fuck that guy who's
How
bigger
much
than me.
dumber can you possibly get, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. If
That's
he
true.
gets bigger, if he gets any dumber, he's just going to, like, spin in a circle on the floor. Like,
What?
Three Stooges.
What crazy strategy is Cthulhu putting forward that
He's going to fucking step on him.
dumb people step on things?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So he's gonna step on things.
No, I'm saying like that's that same strategy that he's going to use
Maul
to
can't
defeat
step on
Maul. I'm saying there's a chance. There's
Your
a chance
argument's
that
bad.
Maul could get even bigger.
Does Cthulhu have wings?
Yes, he does. They
Little bitch ass
Yeah,
wings. They tiny as shit.
He doesn't really fly though. They actually talk about that. He has wings, and they were meant for like star travel, but he doesn't flap around like a bird.
Oh my god, I hate how this is like on me. It's my first episode.
Yeah.
And
This that's a perfect way. to
I
end
am
it.
looking at a picture of Cthulhu who's right under a boat.
It's a tiny boat.
Aim that
I
shit
bet
at
it's
It is
tiny
a
as
That
shit.
is not, there are a bunch of different. Let me aim that computer at me. Let me see it.
Oh, that's a
All right,
tiny-
what about it?
That's a tiny.
I'm just saying it's a tiny boat.
That's not the boat.
I well, okay.
It's got to be the boat.
My thing is Cthulhu is fucking huge.
He's real big.
I'm going to assume that him getting beat by a slow boat was a fluke.
Oh, how slow was this boat? What's
And
what's
I think
you a nautical genius?
just looking at the sheer size.
He's saying
of
it was
him,
a fluke, though.
All right, I'm
saying
sorry.
it's a
I'm
fluke.
lashing out here.
it's so hard for me to decide right now.
I think we're sort of winning this argument.
We have to pick a
Carson.
lane on this.
I know.
Carson's voted. I voted. Murph, you're next. And
I
Sam,
voted.
it all falls on your shoulders.
Cthulhu.
Oh, you voted Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Well, then
I-
at best we
yeah,
can tie.
I'm going to say that the boat was a fluke, and I'm gonna go with Cthulhu.
Our winner, Bodie McBoatface, just bad at boats. Bad at boats is our
Hey.
winner on this one. Cthulhu takes it.
I like it. I like it.
All right, guys. So that's the end of the episode. Carson's, you happy? You feel fulfilled?
I'm pretty psyched about that. I
Nice.
did not expect my boy to win.
Maybe next time Superman will win the all kryptonite bracket.
Is he bigger than everyone else in it?
Are there boats involved?
Anyways, okay, so let's not get that contact information. We have at the Effin' Bracket on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Bracket Official, The Bracket Official on Instagram, The Bracket Rules @gmail.com, The Bracket Sucks @gmail.com. Then we have thebracket.org, where you can see all the contestants, and you can also donate to us via PayPal or Patreon. Really appreciate all that. Hop onto iTunes, give us 5 stars, tell all your friends, pass it along, and give us a review. That's good too. Next time on The Bracket, how much steam power does it take to kill a literal god?
Will Murph be able to take out a chimpanzee if it's got like pneumonia and we get it drunk first?
Will John Jones and Stephen Hawking face off in the most epic battle of? No.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Who will win the surprise match between Carson's and Hank Pym in the Who's a Giant Dick bracket?
Find out all this and more next time on
The Bracket!